Hello everyone, Saturn here, taking a look at the Petite Bourgeoisie, trying to get them in this example with Two Siciles into government and up to 20% clout as fast as possible. So let's get into it. Let's come up with a strategy to increase the clout for the Petite Bourgeoisie. For the ideologies, it doesn't really matter, right? Because that has nothing to do with clout, and the same thing for traits and approval. It'd be nice to have these up there, but there's no big deal. So what we'll do is we'll definitely bolster. So we'll use 200 authority to do this. So this interest group attraction will increase by 40%. That's actually really good. So that means our laws for free speech is actually in pretty good shape. Yeah, so we're on censorship, which is nice. So that's really strong. The next best is outlaw dissent. We're not gonna be able to do that, so this is really good. So I'm happy with that. Let's also now take a look at our leader here. He's imperious, so there is a plus 25% interest group per pop attraction if they're the leader of the interest group. Okay, so that's good, and he's a political operator, so we should get this plus 5% interest group political strength. So if we go back to the Petite Bourgeoisie and we take a look at our clout, yeah, we can see the 5% from our leader, and then we're also getting a 2% from brigadier general. So we do have a general that's also part of the Petite Bourgeoisie, so that's a very nice start for us. So let's see which of these generals that is. So this, not this one, he's landowners, Petite Bourgeoisie. So what we're going to want to do is promote this guy. So if we promote this guy up, it's going to cost some bureaucracies, but it's going to be worth it, and he's going to be much stronger. And what I might try to do as well is I may retire out the landowner one and see if we get another Petite Bourgeoisie. So that will help as well. Some of the laws that we're going to want to take a look at is I want to get, let's see, we want to get to elected bureaucrats because that's a plus 25% political strength. To be able to do that, though, we're not allowed to have autocracy or oligarchy or elder council. So what we're going to want to do for distribution of power, get out of autocracy, and we're going to want to probably get to wealth voting because a majority of the Petite Bourgeoisie, we'll look at the population real quick. Hopefully they're going to be wealthy, and the wealth voting will help. Land voting helps out the aristocrats and the clergymen, people we don't care about. So really want to at least get to wealth voting and the intelligentsia industrialists. So some of the other groups will actually help get this passed potentially. So we want to look there. We also want to take a look at potentially switching over some of like local police. We want to get rid of this because of the landowner political strength. We also want to maybe potentially go free trade as well if we can get there, because we're going to be doing a lot of trade, and I'm going to show you why. So if we take a look at our ideology group and we look at the population, majority of them are shopkeepers, which is, again, all the trade buildings. So the more trade that we do, the more trade centers that we have, the more shopkeepers we're going to have. So if we take a look here, for example, and I'll show you. So in case you don't believe me, so trade centers have 1,000 shopkeepers per, because there's 4 of them here. So we do want that, and shopkeepers are huge. Also because they join the Petite Bourgeoisie, you see 42%. And they're also middle strata, so they have a good amount of money. So this is definitely the group that we want to do. So anything that's going to increase our shopkeepers within Two Sicilies is going to be really, really important. The other one that's really a large portion of this group is definitely, I think, clerks. Yeah, clerks are the next biggest one. So we want to do that as well. So we could do some government admin buildings. That'll help there. We could also do, I think we're going to focus on shipyards. Maxing, well, ports first, right, and then using shipyards to make sure that we have enough clippers. Ports are great because it's going to be a lot of clerks. You can see 1,500, so that's not bad there. And then when it comes to the building more clippers, that's not going to help us too much, but we're going to also want to focus on resource buildings. So for example, logging camps, you can see shopkeepers are 1,000 here. We are going to get a lot of laborers as well, but I'm not too worried about that because they're not going to be paid as well. So we're going to really focus on our shopkeepers, and talking about payment, all the shopkeepers there, or in a lot of these buildings, clerks and stuff, it's all government buildings. So what we want to do, especially for the clerks, we could increase our government wages here. And you can see there's a reason, you can even see it, that the approval of the Petite Bourgeoisie will go up. So that means a lot of the jobs that it's related to are going to go up. And you can see here, clerks and shopkeepers will be definitely impacted. So that's huge. So we want to make sure that we max this out as well, and we'll deal with that with the budget. So before we start the game, what I did is I definitely retired the general that was landowners, and the one that's Petite Bourgeoisie, we promoted all the way up. So now we got a plus 20% bonus. You can see it here, definitely under the clout, so which is great. And we're going to take a look real quick at the Navy and see if we could recruit anyone. Oh, there we go. So this is good. RNG is with us a little bit here. So we're going to also recruit for sure. This is going to cost bureaucracy, but it's worth it for the political strength. So we'll do that. He's with the armed forces, so we're going to retire him out, and we're going to promote this guy up all the way up. It's going to cost admin, but we're going to be making admin buildings anyways, and this is the best way to rush a given group. So now with those changes, and we could take a look at our clout, we have now a plus 20% from our field marshal and from our admiral. So this is definitely a way, even though you're spending money on bureaucracy, this is kind of a good way to use it, because now we're trying to outweigh what's going on here. You can see with the landowners here, they have a lot, right? So they have plus 25% and another 25% for a bureaucracy and some of the laws here and their leaders. So we're trying to kind of like balance that out. Even the Catholic Church, I think, has a decent amount here. Yeah, they have a plus 30% because of state religion. So we want to make sure that we're also getting some bonuses. Before the first year is even up, we're able to get to 12% clout for the Petite Bourgeoisie, which is great. We created a couple of construction sectors, and we're working on a port. And now we have enough legitimacy where we could get into government, and hopefully we'll start passing some laws that'll make them even more powerful. So we passed appointed bureaucrats. This is nice because the intelligentsia will get a plus 25% bonus, while the landowners now will get a little bit weaker. So that's pretty much what we want to do, is we want to make sure in the government here to be able to, for us to get stronger, are the main people in here we want to actually reduce. Yeah, so we're at a 16%, which is really good here. So that helped definitely reduce the landowners' strength here. And the Catholic Church, the plus 30% isn't too bad. So I think we're pretty good overall. Within 4 years, we made the Petite Bourgeoisie the leading interest group. And how did we get here? Well, one that really helped were the bonuses for the Army and Navy leaders. Again, that's a little bit RNG. The other things that I would do if you can't get those is definitely focusing on the laws. We got appointed bureaucrats just to steal a little bit away from the landowners and into the intelligentsia, which was good. But I would focus on trying to get elected bureaucrats. That'll give you a plus 25%, which is definitely a big bonus. Also, what we focused on was, and this was the big one, is the people that are part of this interest group. We want to make sure that those are the people that we're employing. So if we go back here to the Petite Bourgeoisie, you can see our population. The shopkeepers are at 10,000 and the clerks are at 13,000. So I was choosing buildings such as ports. You can actually see here we're doing ports and we're doing shipyards. We're throwing in some other things to make some money if we needed to. But pretty much anything that was giving us shopkeepers or clerks was very important. So government administration buildings, and we did a lot of trade. I still didn't even use up all of my convoys. I still had a lot available, 1,900 available, but I was trying to do as much trading as possible, right? So the more trading that we did, the more trade centers that we got. Look, we have 48 trade centers. So all this gave us 48,000 shopkeepers. So this is another great way. Again, we're really dependent on our trade right now, but this is how you get the Petite Bourgeoisie up fast. I hope you find this video useful. If you like this type of content, hit the like, subscribe, and notification button. They're free. And as always,
for the swarm.